Good afternoon, everyone. Tom Leahy with Optimum Ed. Welcome to Optimum Ed Live on this wonderful Thursday afternoon. There was a teenager who lost a contact lens playing basketball in his driveway, and he couldn't find it. He finally gave up and asked his mom to help out. And in just a couple of minutes, she found the contact lens, and he was amazed. He said, "How did you do that, Mom?" She said, "Well, we weren't looking for the same thing." He said, "You were looking for a piece of plastic. I was looking for $150." So we're going to talk about financial literacy today, financial literacy among our youth. And you know that according to the Council for Economic Education, only 17 states in the U.S. require high schools to provide a financial education course. Only 17. And I think the results speak for themselves. We think about that because there's an outfit called the Program for International Student Assessment, and it measures financial knowledge and skills of students needed to make the jump from high school to college, college into the workforce. And their current findings, well, the United States ranks 7 worldwide, behind China, Belgium, Canada, Russia, Netherlands, Australia. So when we talk about preparing a child for life, it's these kind of challenges that parents face today. But we shouldn't be too disheartened because our guests today are doing something about furthering financial literacy. Emily Sedler and Ramey Doyle with River City Lending Team have started a financial literacy initiative here in Central Virginia. Ladies, thanks for visiting today.
Thanks for having us. Thanks.
Hey, let's start with a little background. So I'm going to just guess that it has something to do with your experience working in the mortgage industry and maybe being moms as well that are two big factors in you wanting to address this issue.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail right on the head. So Ramey and I have been in the mortgage industry for over a decade, Ramey longer than me. And we have we've seen the way that everybody does finance a little bit differently, right? So we've seen a lot of different ways that people bank and structure their debt. And what we've noticed over the past decade is that a lot of times, by the time people get to us, specifically our younger generation, so these are folks who are just out of college, kind of starting to think about buying their first house. People are kind of starting to buy houses a little bit later in life. So a lot of times we're like late 20s, early 30s, starting to think about buying their first house. And by the time they get to us, we're kind of challenged with possibly a decade or more of financial decisions that maybe don't coincide with qualifying for a mortgage loan. So what we've learned is this is not something that we teach our youth, not in high school, a lot of times not in college. And I think it's our challenge as parents and as good stewards, good citizens in our community to try to make a difference there.
Yeah, I think a lot of parents don't know how to educate on this topic. They just know what they've always done for themselves and how they've gotten their credit score, but they don't necessarily understand strategies. And they're not always setting, we see a lot of times parents pay for everything for their kids, right? They don't want them to take out student loans or something like that, or they don't let them have a credit card. So they have no history built. And it's as a mom, I want to do everything for my kid, but really the best thing is kind of educating my child how to use credit, not just taking care of it for her.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. And I think it's very difficult for young people to move forward if they don't have some basic financial knowledge. I mean, I was going to say, what is a checkbook? But most kids don't even know what most of us don't even use a checkbook anymore. So it's like, how do you, what does it look like today to account for your money and to do those things you need to do in the environment that we live in today to succeed, or at least not end up on the street, I guess, so to speak. So what is it you're doing? What does this program look like?
That's a really good question. So right now we're in the beginning phases of partnering with Chesterfield County School System. So we are focusing on a financial fitness boot camp for first year teachers. So these are most of the time, not all of the time, folks who are fresh out of college, just like taking their first job, and that's a lot, right? Drinking out of a fire hose. And we want to catch those teachers, those educators early in their career to tell them, like, look, even if you're not thinking about buying a house right now, let's make a game plan so that when you're ready, you've done the things necessary to qualify for a mortgage loan so that you can buy your first house and not be stuck in that rental trap for decades. The second thing that we're focusing on is trying to be a little bit present in the school system. So be guest speakers in high schools. Chesterfield County actually does have a financial, like an economics type class.
Right. They are one of the, right. But Virginia is one of those states, right?
Correct. Yeah. But they're not necessarily looking at finance through a mortgage lens. So right. Things that we're focusing on with high school kids is, what is credit? How do you use it? How do you not use it? Right? Like what are your don'ts when you get offered that first credit card on your college campus, first day of school?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And then student loans. Student loans are such a prevalent thing in our society, and the way that we've done it for the past 10 years has had an enormous impact on an entire generation of Americans and how they potentially qualify for or not qualify for a mortgage loan.
Well, not just mortgages. I mean, the credit, credit drives everything. Your credit score, your credit rating. I mean, pretty much we live on and die on our credit rating for most things. So I think that's great. So really, what you're doing is you are educating the educators.
That's our goal. Yeah.
Okay. And then hopefully the educators will share that knowledge with their students through the classroom. Okay. So what help are you looking for? Do you need help? Do you need assistance? I mean, where are you now in terms of making this happen? I guess is it up to the school system then to help you put this together, or?
Actually, the school, Chesterfield County, has been super helpful. They're really, I think, really excited about our involvement in Chesterfield County. So I think we want to start there and kind of pilot. We're definitely in the beta testing phase, seeing like what works, what doesn't, where the most need is. And so I would say, so we're launching this Q2 of this year. And then my goal is, if it's a huge success and we kind of tweak the details in Chesterfield, which is just where we're comfortable, it's just my home, Ramey's home. We would love to expand to the surrounding counties. So Henrico, Hanover, we would love to kind of widen our reach a little bit.
So this education that you're providing the teachers in Chesterfield County, is this something that would be beneficial to parents to be able to access?
Yes, absolutely. So we're going through basically home buying 101. What are the rules? We always say, like, not everybody lives to qualify for a mortgage loan. So here are the things we can do to set you up for success and help you make a game plan. And I really think that anybody, even if you've bought a house and it's been, 5-10 years, I think anybody can benefit from some of the things that we're including in our curriculum.
I mean, we've experienced that firsthand. For as long as we've been doing this, mortgage has changed so much, and there's nothing worse than when someone comes to you and says, this is how my dad or my grandpa did it 20 years ago, and you're like,
no offense, Tom.
It's just different today.
I'm taken. Yeah. I tell people, about the first house I purchased, the interest rate was like 17%, and it was like, and when I hear younger people complaining about the interest rates today, I just kind of chuckle. They don't really get it, but But so is this something you're going to pack? I mean, I guess where I'm headed with this, is this going to be a video series that can be,
or accessible,
delivered to, in various ways, like on our website, or, how can we take advantage of this beyond the school?
That's a great question. So we are going to have resources available. Really, I mean, right now we're kind of gearing towards educators and first-time homebuyers. But yes, we are going to have resources available. I would love to talk to you about involving Optimum Ed in hosting some of those resources, because they're things that everybody can benefit from: budgeting, good use of credit, general mortgage guidelines.
Sure.
And I feel like everybody, even if you own a house, can benefit from just like, what are the rules right now? How can I prepare my kids?
Well, and I think a lot of this, if you just have tangibles out there, a lot of it just is only as good as you reading it versus us walking you through it. So
Sure.
I think video is probably a great way to reach the masses versus
Mhm.
just having like handouts, because they'll read it and they don't know. It's hard to apply. Credit is this big theoretical thing it's not necessarily dollars in your hand, right? So it's
Right.
hard to kind of translate that into how you actually live your life.
Exactly. It's lifestyle choices that really drive this, and that's what you're teaching.
Mhm.
It's rather than the numbers themselves. It's really about how you approach your relationship with your money and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, great. Well, a lot more to come, I suspect, because this is just start. You guys are just starting out with this, so we're excited to see what this looks like at the finish line. And we'd love to be able to help you deliver it to a wider audience when you're ready for that. So how do people get in touch with you ladies?
So we have a website. It's www.rivercitylending.com. All of our contact information is listed. We do have some resources on our website. But if anybody ever has any questions about how to qualify for a mortgage, real estate strategy, building wealth through real estate, those are things we're passionate about, and we'd love to answer any questions that you have.
Great. And if you folks didn't catch all that, you can get to these ladies through Optimum Ed, because I know where they work. So you can call us at 804-417-4807 or contact us through our website, and we will put you in touch if what we're talking about today resonates and you want to learn more. So anyway, with that, hey, thanks very much, ladies, for being on today. I appreciate it. Everybody have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.